Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 18 of Dead Realm Season 3. I am your humble DM Tyler, and you have noticed that Tangy is no longer pictured on the stream. That's because during the holidays, I've spoken with Joseph, and unfortunately, he is no longer going to be joining us throughout the rest of the campaign. He tried desperately to make time for it, but unfortunately, due to his life circumstances, that he cannot join us for the rest of the campaign. But he has played majority of it as we get closer to the end here. So hopefully you've enjoyed Joseph's story that we told. So hopefully you'll like the rest of the story of Dead Realms. So without further ado, let's continue where we left off. You guys knocked out the devil with some critical hits. Then framed him for breaking in, which was successful. You guys then left the giant lands to search a individual known as the rune maker in order to acquire the rune of purification. You guys travel for a bit into the cave networks, got a bigger cart. You guys now have a bigger cart with an oxen named Blue. You crossed some treacherous obstacles, and you eventually met the rune maker, who was actually a mountain-sized giant stone giant, who then carved the rune of purification onto
David.
no, onto Lavina's staff, which you guys discovered was actually made by elven bark, therefore knocking two birds with one stone. So now, with this rune of purification and the staff in hand, you guys now have the means necessary to stop the death curse brought on by Malekith, the god of death. You guys are then on your way to path through. You then stop to rest, and then a group of giants walked up to you, and that's where we last ended up. So these giants, they're wearing seems like to be regular travelers' clothing. Each of them having a large bag around their shoulder. There's about 8 of them, and I'm trying to give you a better description of them. They're in dim light, so their skin is more of a stone color, like a grayish type of color. And they approach you. Do you say anything to them?
Huh.
And they're about
No.
10, 15 feet tall.
No, not yet. I mean, they're approaching. I guess we just stop the cart
Okay.
and just wait.
Yeah. You guys were resting a bit, so that's why the cart was stopped. They could then approach you. Greetings, travelers. One of them speaks up. Seems to be the head of the group. Was not aware of that regular sized people traveling along these parts.
Yes, well, it took us a great deal to reach this place, but we're here for a reason.
Where are you guys heading towards to?
I knew 3 weeks ago.
In real life, yes.
Well, now that we've got the rune, we can go down to the Elven Isles, right? And
Wait,
find...
we still
gotta
got
go
to
to
find
the-
Thief's.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
The name was on the sign. What was it?
Rift. Pift. Tift.
the village
think it was-
of the village of Finn.
There it
Finn.
is.
Yeah, it's fine. Audience, we haven't been playing for 2 weeks because of Christmas and New Year's, so that's why.
2? It's like 3.
Oh yeah, 3 weeks. You're right.
It's been a long time.
It's been
Alright.
a while. Yeah, so the giants then says, the village of Finn. We're from that village. That village has been long overrun.
Well, let us purify it. For Fifi, one of your kin who traveled with us who fell.
The,
We're here to bury him.
the man looks surprised. He says, "You know Fifi?"
Yes. Top. Show him the crossbow. And actually, Dalvin goes into the carriage to grab the crossbow to show the giant.
The giant
Athena's gonna pull out the flute.
The giant does. Upon you pulling out the crossbow, the giant does not look. The giant kind of looks at it, and clearly gives you a look of that like I know nothing. But the moment you pull out loot, his eyes go wide. He says, "That's Fifi's flutes," and you see that he's getting passive aggressive with his tone of voice at this point. And he says, "Where have you acquired it? And who are you? What is your relation to him?"
I just told you he traveled with us. We've been traveling together. We got trapped in a cave for 50 years, and we were trying to make our way back through this entire apocalypse. Unfortunately, Fifi fell along the way, and we're here to bury what's left of him per his wishes.
You see that the leader changes his tone to kind of passive aggressive to now the somber type of tone. He says, "I see. Fifi was my nephew. I am sad to hear the news that he has passed."
Yes, trust me. I don't think we'd be here otherwise. This isn't an easy place to get to.
It is now no longer an easy place. What? Well, we should probably get introduced. I am Fu. People call me Fu, but you may call me Fu.
So does that mean your last name? So your full name is Fu Fo Fum? Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. He looks annoyed.
Don't aggravate him. Don't do it. Yes, we should go, but I mean, what's happening in Finn? How could we help?
Well, the dead have overrun the place, both your guys' sizes and mine. There is nothing left there. The buildings are destroyed. It's overrun by a massive horde. There's nothing left there but the walking dead.
So I mean, even if we did purify it, you're saying that there's nothing to salvage.
No. What we have in our bags and us are what remains of that village, which used to hold hundreds of us kind.
Wait, you guys are nomads now?
Unfortunately, we now live the nomad life.
Oh no, screw that, man. Go find the dwarves over my place. We'll be fine.
Your place?
Yeah, you got a map? Hold up. Let me draw this out for you. I'll show you exactly where to.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, no, leave the mountains and then head northeast. We should probably head north from there, and you'll see our castle in the mountaintops. You guys can make a home there.
He says, "Thank you for giving us possible direction, but we actually prefer to live within mountains. Perhaps this one is no longer safe. But now, we seek a new home."
Bring them into the mountains. You could live deep into the mountains next to us.
Perhaps. He kind of looks...
Only thing that's
Go ahead.
Only thing you have to face is literal zombies. Not even giant ones on the way.
but we'll see where our travels take us. He then says, I'm trying to think of words here.
These are hard, man.
He then says, we must make our leave, but if you wish to bury the remnants of my nephew, you must seek the house lowest within the village, for that is where we used to live. And if you wish to brave it, our house has a river that could lead outside of the mountain if you cannot find your way out.
Yeah, but we got an ox. I don't know if we could take an ox down the river. Jeez.
Our village is giant size. Your ox should be able to fit fine.
We have to leave by the river? Alright.
Okay. He says, stay safe and thank you for honoring my nephew.
No problem. Safe travels.
He nods his head and he communicates to the other giants in giant language, and then they walk past you.
Alright, yeah, so we got a free pass, but we got a whole bunch of zombies on the way to Fifi's home. That's conveniently on the other side of town for some reason.
It says the lowest, not the other side. I don't know if you heard me
Like,
correctly.
nothing comes easy in this. You guys want to head now? You guys want to take a break? What's up?
I say we just keep going. Take all the
Yeah, I'm rested
what
enough
little
to go.
daylight we see.
Alright, let's head out.
All right.
Cool. You guys travel further within the mountain. A few hours pass. Afterwards, you see a somewhat large cave opening up. And within the cave opening, there's a large hole that reflects what little light from the sky this area goes down to. But what you see is a grim sight. You see giant-sized buildings toppled, destroyed. Obviously, there are walking dead of the stone variety, most of them covered in stone, seem to attach to their skin. But you also see a numerous amounts of giant-sized zombies as well. You see that there's a path that leads into the, well, whatever remained of the village gates. And going further down, you could tell that the places that this giant Fu described to you seems to be you gotta go into town a bit and then make a hard left that leads into the river. And you see that there is a giant-sized river that kind of is still active, but there's giants walking within the river that are, I want to say, knee down as far as like comparing the size of the giant to the size of the river that leads down into some watering hole that you guys then look right to.
Dalvin lets out a big groan. Nothing comes easy.
No,
All right.
nothing ever is.
So what's your guys' approach?
I mean, we can try to be sneaky, but eventually we're gonna have to face some of these guys.
I don't want to. Like,
Well, do you have a way to make a distraction or something?
yeah, like, we gotta find a way to cause a big ass cave in or something to distract them.
See,
really don't want to.
I fear we're running into a moral quandary here because, like, if we're burying the body to pay respects, like, wouldn't it be kind of disrespectful to like set the village on fire as a distraction?
No, because I had the conversation with his uncle, and his uncle said that the town was lost anyway. I don't think they have any sympathetic views of this place. So let's just.
I do have the ability to do like like those like those element shots that I do. I mean, I do have the capability of doing it with like lightning or thunder. It's just gonna be really fucking loud.
Well, would you be willing to stay here and just keep making loud noises and kind of be bait to buy us time to dig a hole, or like
I
how
mean,
do you
wait,
think we can use that?
didn't we?
Tangy,
We don't
Tangy,
have Fee-Fi's body. We burned Fee-Fi bodies. We just need to bury his crossbow and flute.
Okay, so the hole doesn't need to be that big. We can probably do that pretty quick then.
Tangy interjects and says, "Well, if you want, I could have Radiant provide the distraction. She could fly, and I don't think, except for maybe the giant zombies, that most of the other zombies can't get to her. Plus, she glows a bright light, and I think it would possibly draw the attention away.
I think that would work.
That's true.
And plus, I could always summon Radiant back if anything happens to her.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just send Radiant there to dig it up herself?
No,
Excellent
we should
point.
do that.
Let's kind of skip the middleman here. And
No, but like this is a. I don't think FIFA. If he knowing FIFA, if he saw how many zombies stood in our way, he would say he wasn't worth it. But we know he's worth it, so we are going to do it anyway. I'm just saying he wouldn't mind if we try to use Radiant as a strategy.
Radiant says, "It's fine. You're doing it for the right reasons. And like Tangy said, I could always be summoned back."
Well,
All right.
like a plan to
Well, I
me.
can't. Yeah, just can't bring my club for this one. We're gonna be. Dalvin goes back in the carriage. Just kind of trails off and looks for his pickaxe.
Alright, you find your pickaxe.
All right. Whenever you're ready, Radiant.
I'm ready when you guys are.
Yeah. You ready? You guys ready?
let's do it.
Yep.
Alright. Radiant flies, creates a loud distraction, drawing most of the attention away from you guys. At this point, a couple of the zombies are following Radiant, but not all of them. But it's enough to allow you guys to try to be able to try to stealth your way into the village. I want everyone making an agility check at this point in time.
15. Wait, did I put a plus in my agility? No, that was 14. Yeah, 15.
8.
8? Ooh. And what's your roll, Lavina?
14.
14? Okay. Most of the zombies are drawing their attention to Radiant at this point, and you guys are able to slip most of them by. There is a short instance, Tim, where you cause some short debris to collapse around you when you are trying to move left, and then you actually knock down some debris. However, Dalvin and Lavina quickly draw you away from the area, which evaded the sight that one of the undead would have bring as you guys cross the city gates. At this point, I want you guys to make a second agility check.
16.
Okay.
7.
Oof.
Just trade rolls tonight. It's fine.
Let me use a fate die.
Okay.
Because that was a natural 1.
Yeah, I would do so.
18.
Okay.
Oh,
This time, Lavina, as you guys are trying to go through a giant house, um, Lavina, you accidentally trip and land on one of the support beams, and it looks like it was gonna crumple all over you. However, Dalvin, Tim, and Tangi are able to pull you out of the way of the rubble. Good news, you're not hurt. It attracted some of the zombies away, but you guys are able to manage to get away before they could even get there. And now you're at the last lake where you're seeing what seems like to be a half destroyed home nearby the river, but there's a few undead around there. And at this point, a good amount of the zombies are approaching Radiant. But I need you to make one last agility check to see if you're able to get by this last batch of zombies.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
9.
This time, Dalvin, you didn't notice the hill before the house. You trip a bit and you fall down the hill a bit. You're like, you know, obviously making some extinctional noises, along with knocking down some of the debris at the bottom of the hill. Meanwhile, Lavina, Tangi, and Tim are able to get to you quickly and get you out of the way before some of the undead that were near the immediate area could get to you. And you guys are able to clear the skill challenge. You guys then go to the half-destroyed home of Fifi. Looks like a simple, humble home, but it is giant size, but half-destroyed. So it's basically the size of a regular one-story, two-bedroom house. It's half-destroyed, and based on the area, you could tell that most of a type of person that work here would practice a common trade. Nothing that Fifi growing up would most likely not like. That's probably why he was trying to lean more towards barding. But nonetheless, most of the valuables in there seem to be gone. Just rumpled, giant-sized clothes now remain there. But surprisingly enough, the surrounding yard throughout the house still kind of kept. Not to say that, you know, it's like freshly cut grass, but nonetheless, it is kept enough to where, like, there's no overgrowth around the area. You guys get the feeling that the giants were here for a little long while during the 50 years before the apocalypse reached them.
So what's the floor? Is this like a dirt floor or what?
It's a stone ground floor within the building, and then all around you seems to be some grass and greenery.
Alright, Dalvin starts digging a hole.
You do so.
Are there while he's digging, is there any like winter flowers in bloom still with some of the green?
Make a perception check.
Okay. I need to double check those stats. 17.
You find some like dandelions and those type of flowers like that would grow from weeds, but you're able to find like a small area where you do find those winter flowers. They were closer to the house.
I'm gonna pluck like a bushel of just like a lot of the winter flowers and some of like the regular dandelions, and I'm gonna make like a little like wreath.
Okay, you're able to do so. Tim, what are you doing during this?
Well, I don't remember Fifi, even though the ghost assured us that I knew him. So I feel a little out of place here, but I'm gonna be looking through my books to see if I got a good passage to read.
You do got a good passage to read. After some time, Dallin, you finish digging up the hole. I mean, it's just for a crossbow and a flute, so it doesn't take you that long. And thus you're able to create an easy wreath.
Dalvin starts singing the acoustic version of the heavy metal song that him and P5 played.
Yeah, I'm gonna join in.
Okay. You do so without issue. You have to kind of be silent because of the undead around. But, Dalvin, how are you feeling right now singing this song that you and Fifi sang back at the bar in your homeland?
I think Dalvin's still trying to keep like there's so many giant zombies around. He's still trying to be vigilant and like it's exhausting being so alert and being so like on edge of like every single threat that could kill the whole group. So like he's like half trying to grieve and half trying to still like be on edge. So it's like it's just coming off wrong.
I get you. As you finish saying the song, Lavina, you begin to put the items within the hole and then cover it. What do you do with the wreath, and how do you feel?
Mm. Lavina's gonna, for the like tombstone part of it, like the iconography of where his gravestone is, because Lavina will be damned if Fifi gets an unmarked grave. She's
Mhm.
gonna like jab the crossbow into the ground and put his flute in there and gently place the dirt over it and then hang the wreath on the top of the crossbow. And as she's sitting there, like also trying to like stay vigilant, but again like doing her best to grieve, she's gonna cast can I do like a muted version of like create light where it like looks like little stars in the flowers?
I'll allow it for this once, for this moment.
Yay. Thank you.
You,
Yeah, she like breaks up. You see her cast like create light, and in her fingers, it looks like she crumples it, and it looks like it breaks up into stardust, and she rubs it around the wreath and into the dirt where his flute was, and she's just gonna go, "May the stars guide your path, Fifi. You will always be with us."
Tanji gets on his knees, puts his flag down, says a prayer to Solaris, and he says, Solaris, I'm not too sure how the afterlife works, but I know that there's a place where everyone goes when they pass. Some people go to different paths based on who they are. I know that the elves go toward the Quenya. I do not know of giant culture, but I hope that wherever afterlife Fifi went to, I hope that you were able to guide him to the correct path and not let darkness take him. I hope that you are able to give our friend a peaceful afterlife. And he begins to tear up a bit.
Vina is gonna like wrap her arms around both Tangi and Dalvin and Tim, and I think she's just gonna quietly sob into the boys.
Okay. And Tim, seeing this, how does, even though you didn't have the connection with this Fifi, um, how do you feel about this whole ordeal? Ethan?
Oh, sorry.
So you see this image of Lavina holding the two, uh, her two companions all together and for this somber moment. How do you feel during all this?
Levi is glad it ended with a song, and he's glad he found friends that honor him in such a way. He was always looking out to make a story to sing about, and well, maybe he can't sing that story, but he knows that others will.
All right. And seeing this, you guys rise up and begin the track. Obviously, the safest way at this point is just by following the river. Other than, unless you guys wish to go through like the undead hordes again. but
I'm good with the river, thanks.
So
I think a
Yeah, no
chilly
big-
river walk sounds nice.
yeah, if you guys wish, but it's up to you guys which path you wish to go.
Easy river all day. Dare I say a lazy river?
Ooh.
Ah, I see what you did there. Dalvin, you cool with this?
Yeah.
Cool. You guys follow the wither. You follow the river back towards the carts near the outskirts of the town. At this point, Radiance is no longer there, and you guys are confident that by the time you get to the carts, the undead, in theory, should, go back and realize that nothing went wrong. Everyone make perception checks at this point.
Well, I may not be perceptive, but I am somewhat eptive. That's a 6.
3.
3.
13.
13. Okay. Lavina, as you guys are walking down towards the river, you hear with your elven hearing a crack of some sort that kind of echoes throughout this chamber. And as you turn around, you see that part of this whole clearing area begins to crack, and then it begins to crack more and more and more. And it looks like it's coming from the river itself. You're the only one that notices this. What do?
You said it's coming from the where itself?
The river, like where the river starts within this cavern.
Shit. Yeah, y'all. That's what y'all hear. Y'all hear Lavina go, "Ah, shit, fuck," and she immediately starts trying to grab you. She's like, "Back up!" She's like, "Things are breaking. We gotta hold on here."
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
down backs up.
As you guys are beginning to run and do all this, the crack begins to crack more and more, and eventually it breaks. What comes out of it? First off, a bunch of giant zombies. Second off, a bunch of small zombies. But probably the biggest threat is all the water that's coming out of it. And at this point, I need everyone to make power checks to see if they are able to get towards their cart in a safe manner.
I'd like to fate die that.
Sure.
I rolled a 3.
Oh boy.
Natural 20, total
Okay.
22.
Nice.
I rolled a 3 again.
Oh no. Oh no.
23 for me.
23 for you. Okay. Dalvin, Tim, you guys are naturally athletic, so you guys are hauling ass towards the cart. Lavina, you rolled a 3, unfortunately. As you go over, you see that as you're trying to catch up with Dalvin and Tim, you saw something that you didn't expect. There is a undead zombie who has no legs that grabs you by your feet. Then you topple over, and it seems that not only that you guys missed an undead, but it seems like this undead was crushed by some debris many ago, and it is holding onto your leg. At this point, Tangy will try to attack the undead to try to cut your leg free. I'm gonna roll here for him.
I just imagine the grabbing him by the ankles and Lavina just going face down and just busting the fuck up out of her face on the hard ground. Just like
As
does not block her fall.
As the zombie begins to grab your leg with his other arm, Tangy, with his short sword, manages to cut the zombie's head off with a nat 20. He says, Lavina, come on, we gotta get going.
God, Tangy, I love you so much. And she's gonna scramble to her feet, fucking grab him, and teleport to the to the cart.
All right.
Just gonna clear the rest of that distance.
All right, so there's still some distance to clear. You are able to catch up with the rest of the group. I want everyone to make one more round of power checks.
30, 20.
Nice.
Which check?
A power check.
Ooh. 11 plus 5, 16.
16, okay.
18.
18, okay. As you guys are getting to run faster, you are able to make it to the cart. However, the water itself slams against the bridge that you guys are on, and the bridge is beginning to collapse. What are you all doing?
Crossing. It's time for decisive action.
Yep.
How
Yeah.
how long is the bridge?
I'm
In
crossing.
spaces.
I didn't have time to think that. I'm crossing.
All right. You're
Oh,
running
What about
towards the other
blue?
side of the bridge. All right.
What about blue? Wait a minute. Can the carriage make it through?
You have to turn around the carriage and then hopefully make it with the carriage with blue.
All right, maybe we just the carriage with keep blue.
yeah.
All right, we unhitch the carriage, and Dalvin Hyatt hops on Blue's back and then just tries to
All right.
cross.
All right. Lavina.
Lavina's just gonna follow the group and she's gonna be ready to use one of her teleports to get her to fucking solid ground if need be.
Okay. And Tangi will try to grab whatever gear he could possibly carry before trying to run with you guys. This will be the
Now
final.
would be a great time to summon the flying guy who can carry a bunch of stuff.
It takes a while to summon, unfortunately.
Uh,
This is too fast for him to do. Um,
okay.
Dalvin looks back at his club.
everyone make one more round of power checks, except for you, Lavina. You're going to teleport there, so this is not an issue for you.
Wait, do I make one for Blue?
I would say roll a power check, and then that'll be applied with blue. So just make one power check using your modifier, I shall say. I'm going to roll for Tangi because he's carrying a bunch of gear.
I rolled a 6.
Oof.
If that's a failure, I'm gonna to fate die it. But you get to tell me, right? I get to find out whether or not it fails
If
before
you
I roll.
fate die, you will not make it across the bridge.
Ooh.
Oh, so it doesn't matter. Like, there's no point in spending my fate die on this.
I don't
just
think
got to
so.
take. Okay, I got to take my lumps. All right.
Okay.
22.
22. All right. You, Blue, are managed to get across. Lavina, you teleport. I rolled for Tangi. He did not roll well. Then I rolled for his fate die. He also did not roll any better. So what happens is, cinematically, the river is knocking down the bridge, and then, obviously the rest of the water is going to the other end along with the bridge. And Tim, you collapse onto the ground. Shit, I'm not going to be able to make it. And for some reason, you feel a light nudge behind you. And as you do, you get pushed to the other side, and you turn around and you see Tangi, who also kind of felt the similar way. However, he pushed you onto the other side to get you. Unfortunately, due to his 2 failed throws, he is not unable to make it across, and he is just flooded away into the other end of the river, going into that chasm, along with the cart and the rest of the gear.
Genji!
Wait, how far did they get? Are they gone? Are they like imperceptible?
At this point, you just see Tangi shove Tim onto the bridge, and then he just gets carried away along with the debris down the other end of the river.
Can I try to take? Did we bury Fifi's crossbow? I feel like.
No, you didn't bury Fifai's crossbow. You used it.
Okay,
They used
can
it
I
as a
take?
headstone.
Can I take Fifi's? Oh, we don't have it. I was
Nope.
gonna use it. Shoot a rope. I don't got it. Yeah, I don't know.
Glue trap, go away.
Yeah, but at this point, as the water begins to flow faster and faster, the undead, attracted to the debris noise, are walking towards you guys.
We got it. We gotta go.
You gotta book it.
We gotta go. We don't have time for this. We gotta go.
Starts scalloping with Blue on the back of Blue.
All right. You do so. Blue is big enough to fit all 3 of you, so that's not an issue. So you guys all ride Blue out of that area. As it does, the water begins to hit the walls more and more, and the walls begin to collapse, and the entire chasm entrance to this village collapses.
All right, this may not be a good time, but we promise not to eat Blue For any reason.
Deal.
Because all our food was back there.
I have
Hey,
like
go ahead.
no, you go.
I would like to think I have enough knowledge of this neck of the woods to know what plants are forageable. It's not quite the exact same ecosystem as where I grew up, but like we were foragers and hunters where I grew up, and this is they have some of the species that we have back home. So there might be some stuff that is edible, but I won't recognize it. But there's definitely going to be some stuff that I recognize. So
Tim has a good point. I haven't had to worry about scavenging too much, but I also come from a place of like I said, my mother was a forager, so I can find some. We will be able to eat. Blue will be fine. If anything, we have to worry about Blue starving to death.
Yeah, well, let's just escape this horde and head back. I need a bath again.
You guys travel for 1 or 2 hours on Blue. Eventually, Blue gets tired and has to rest. You guys, as far as equipment and stuff is concerned, it's safe to say that none of you have all your rations because all your rations are in the cart. And then whatever physical gear you were carrying, you have. So your whatever weapons you were holding, you have. As far as like any potions or what have you, you have that. But other than that, the majority, most of your gear is now gone.
my 100 feet of rope.
Yes.
I still have my money though, right?
Yeah.
Good.
My books.
Besides the one
That's
book you
alright.
have on your person, the rest are all washed away.
It's alright, Tim. I still have 50. I still have over 50 gold. We just gotta head back to town. We'll gamble again. We'll win big, and we'll do this all over again.
I had a signed first edition of Practical Potions and their uses. My guy, he's dead
It-
now. He's not making more of
Whoa,
them.
whoa, 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 whoa! Hey! Thank Tangi for getting you across. All right, little gratitude. Okay.
You're right. You're right. I've got my eyes on the wrong prize.
Yes, and I'm saying as soon as we get back to town, I have enough money to make sure that we're taken care of at least for the short term. That's all I'm saying.
All right. In the meantime, right, I mean, like cows eat grass, right? So as long as there's plants, Blue should be good. But then what about us?
worry about that when we get to town.
But I mean, we're not moving right now, right? Blue's.
Yeah, no. It's gonna take a couple days. I get it.
I I got like 5 rations on me. That's all I had in my pack.
Okay,
Like the
so
crumbs of a sandwich.
what is around us? We're next to the river, right? What else is there? What's the environment?
Right now, you guys are in a cave passage network system. There isn't much as far as forging is concerned. Go ahead and just make an intellect check, actually.
Well, I'm good at that. 12.
You know that there's like some fungi or other weird plants in caves. Some are edible, but there's a chance that some could be poisonous. Excuse me, as well.
How far does this cave go? That's the question.
Took you a couple of hours, but that's just on like
Yeah.
Blue's back. But now like here
Okay.
adding your guys' weight, so it might take about the same time, if not probably a little longer. But you guys have dealt a long day of traveling because that's what you did all day.
But we're not going to be in here for like a week. We're going to
No.
get out of here in a couple of days.
Probably
okay.
like a day or two.
So I think the move is we collect fungi we think are edible now, and then try to starve as much as we possibly can, because like I would hate to poison myself right now when I'm 10 minutes from the exit if I think it's gonna be 3 day journey, you know. I think yeah, just don't worry about food, and we just keep moving, moving.
Hmm. All right. So, at this point in time, you guys are about to rest. Are you guys going to expend rations? Also, keep in mind, Blue also needs a ration. Or an equivalent of one.
I mean, it's Lavina's, but I would believe so.
I got 5. Mm.
There's four of us. We should make
What are
it
the?
to town by tomorrow.
I'm skipping.
I You're
So,
gonna skip? Are you sure, Tim?
I don't think we need to waste the food. I think we're gonna be out of here. It's just a nap, and then we get out of here in the morning. You know, sleep's what's for dinner.
See? Okay, yeah. If he does that, it's fine. I'll make sure that nothing happens to us tomorrow.
All
You can
right.
sleep on. You can sleep on Blue somehow.
When we get out of the cave, I'll find something I recognize, and I'll eat that along the way. Like I'm not gonna go without forever. I I'd feel safer saving food.
Yeah, but yeah.
Like if I'm wrong and we're sleeping in a cave tomorrow night, I'll eat rations. Like
Okay. Well, that's fair, and it's not the first time we've all had to sleep in a cave and starve for a night.
I mean, you guys are free to eat. Like don't let me get you down.
Dominates.
okay, you eat a ration. I'm assuming.
Vina will use her ration for Blue.
Okay. Blue eats a ration. And do you eat a ration, Lavina?
Mm, no, I'm doing pretty okay on health and everything. Like I should be fine for a night.
Okay. So Dalvin and Blue are the only people that eat, and you guys take turns watch and all that. Nothing happens. You can roll hit die if you're low on health, or roll a spell die if you're low on spell points. But nonetheless, the next day occurs. Ness, not Ness. I'm trying. That's how tired I am. Lavina, Tim, both of you suffer from the exhaustion condition until you are able to eat and drink. As long as you have this exhausted condition, your evasion score and your movement speed are halved.
Okay, they weren't high to begin with.
Yeah, so basically it's easier to hit you and you could barely move. That's all that it does. And you have
Did
this
my
until you eat and drink.
Are we rounding up
What's the
or rounding
rounding
down?
on that?
The rounding, round down.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Alright, Dalvin will walk on foot to let them sort of rest on Blue during the next part of this journey.
okay. You guys begin your traveling on Blue. Tim and Lavina, both of you, feel quite exhausted and hungry. You haven't really starved yourselves at all since this whole journey began, but now you're starting to suffer some of the effects of it. How do you two feel?
I mean, I grew up a forager and a hunter, and like we had a few crops for food. So like, if the hunt was bad and you didn't find anything in season, like you had like a bowl of oatmeal for the day, and it's not living, but it's keeps you alive, you know. So for me, this is kind of like I knew I could do it because I've done it so many times before, but I haven't had to do it for so long that I kind of forgot exactly what it was like, you know.
Lavina shares a very similar sentiment. You know, because she is like her community is very like heavy on the like what's the word? Oh my god. What are words? Like they're very superstitious and certain rituals need to happen and sometimes those rituals include not eating. And since she's left her community, it's just been a very long time. So like similar sentiment of like she knows she can do it, but like it's been a long time, so she's a little grumpy.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. The day continues. You guys are able to make it back to the crossroads after a couple hours, and you guys continue the journey back to the town of Glumhill. You guys could role play with one another if you wish. Otherwise, we can move on.
I miss Tanji. We haven't said his name since we left.
I did. I told Tim to be grateful that Tanji saved his life.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, he
I
should be.
know.
But
Yeah.
I was the only one who
Tanji.
yelled Hanji when he fell.
I
I don't think that's what matters right now.
I miss Tanji too. I thought we were done losing people. And then he goes and does this. And I hope he's in town, actually, just to surprise us. But that's just wishful thinking.
maybe he's a really good swimmer.
Maybe. They're still just, I mean, it just, it just sucks.
We don't even have anything for him.
Well,
All we got is the next steps, which is heading to your hometown and ending this whole thing. And hopefully the three of us can make it there. I mean, the four of us. And he pats Blue.
All right. You guys continue for the next couple of hours. You guys make it back to the city of Glimhill. However, they're slightly different. You see that Glimhill, which was just seems like to be a standalone city on top of a giant pile of rock, now it seems that there is now a moat around the whole city, and that there is water coming from both sides of the city cavern walls.
good for them. They got some more defense.
Yeah, well, hopefully they have more supplies.
Well, apparently they have water to spare.
Well, I just want another room. That's all I need. Just a room so we can stop being in danger, so we can think about Fifi and now Tangi properly.
Yeah.
Well, that maybe that this is where some of the water washed away to in there. Maybe Tanji washed into the city.
That's what yeah, hopefully. But let's go. Let's check it out and fingers or wish and pray like Tangi would.
All right. You guys make it into the town, and the big talk of the town is that there was like a lot of water that has come into the city of Glimhale. That seems to be the large talk of the town. And do you guys go back to the Wolf Spider Inn and Casino, or do you guys not?
Well, they did us well before, I thought.
Yes, but straight to the end. No casino.
Okay.
Straight to the end, no casino.
All right. You go to the Wolf Spiders Inn and Casino. You hitch Blue along with some right next to some other carts and cattle, and you go into the room. It says, "Welcome to the oh, you guys have returned. Welcome back to the Wolf Spiders Inn. Would you like to book a room for the night?
Yes, please.
Well, that would cost you 30 gold pieces for one room.
Dalvin hands you 30 gold pieces.
He says, "Thank you very much." And what about for you two? And he looks at Lavina and Tim.
We're with him.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys wish for a bigger room then?
Nope. We're
Yeah,
real
that's fine.
close,
Yeah.
friends. We're real
Mhm.
close.
Yeah, no, this small room should be fine then. But that's what Sim's just saying.
Very well then. Well, if you do wish to upgrade rooms, you could have the suite like you last did. You just need an additional 20 gold, but perhaps you could win it in one of our games.
Perhaps.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I have the 20 gold, but we'll take a look at the room, and if we want to upgrade, we'll let you know.
You know what? Fair enough. If you wish to change your mind, just let me know. And they give you a key, but in comparison to the sweet key, this key seems to be like used up a lot. You get the feeling that a lot of hands touch this key.
Okay, so we have to have a consensus on this room. If one of us doesn't like it, then we'll upgrade. Deal?
Yeah.
Deal.
We go check the room.
Alright, you go into the room, you use the key, and you open it. You see that it is a small room. It's just a room with one bed, regular sized bed, a chest, a desk area, and a mini wardrobe. But the room is small enough to accommodate a human size. It's basically equivalent of a small bedroom, but nonetheless, it does have room to fit all three of you. But there's only one bed.
I'm too shell shocked to care at this point. I'll sleep on the floor.
Lavina doesn't give
I
two
need
fucks.
I think I need a pillow to breathe into tonight.
That's fair. You want the bed, you take it. It's your money.
Yeah, it's true. You've earned it.
You guys sure you don't want the suite?
We've slept in
Honestly,
worse. I'm just glad to have you guys in actual safety for a night.
yeah. I'm glad to be alive.
That's fair. Devin jumps in bed and grabs the pillow.
All right, we do so. There's a knock on the door, and when you open the door, it is a employee says, "Sorry to intrude, but we are serving dinner tonight. Would you guys like something to eat?"
Yes.
Well, if you wish to have something to eat, it would be 5 gold per meal.
Dalvin hands him 15 gold.
All right, just one moment. We will fetch you some food, and then the person leaves. After you guys get yourself situated, food comes back. Seems like to be a basic meal that you would get at a tavern. Nothing luxurious, but at least it'll sustain your bellies for today.
Soup and bread. Soup and bread. Let's go.
Soup and bread's better than cave fungi.
Yup.
Hell yeah, brother.
No, no.
All right, you guys eat your soup and bread. You guys rest for the night. A little bit more comfortable than yesterday, but still enough uncomfortable to where it's not like a full bed. Your exhaustion has been removed. You guys can regain hit die, but at this point, I think everyone's full on everything. So I'll just skip to the next day, where you guys are now only have a coin purse of 5 gold and have gathered your things and left the room and turned in the key.
All right, straight to Elf Island.
Yep.
Look at
So
Blue.
if
So,
my mental map is correct, it's going to be like an overland journey south back towards the halfling lands, and then we'll get on a boat. Is that right?
think so.
Yeah.
We have to tell Tanji's mother. We have to. Sorry.
I think you're right.
I don't feel right. I've made my amends with going home, but I can't do that if she doesn't know.
Okay.
It's only fair.
But if we go back and that town is exactly what we just did with V-Pie, I will not be happy.
How about this? If it looks, because we're gonna have to pass through there anyways, but before we go in, if it looks overrun or something terrible has happened to it, we can cut around. We won't even
Agreed.
risk it. It's not worth it. Tanji's worth it, but I'm not about to lose another one of you, so whatever that means is what we're gonna do.
I mean, for all we know, Tanji's alive, and also for all we know, if Tanji died, Radiant delivered a memento to his mother already.
I don't know how that works, but
Me neither. I don't know. I mean, I think that Radiant and Luminous are still alive, like, because like Tanji didn't create him, right? He was just like summoning them from somewhere else, so they're like on some higher plane or something, but they still exist, from what I understand.
I feel we were too busy surviving to have philosophical talks with Tanji about his religion, so I have no idea how that works actually.
He didn't really go into the ins and outs, but I've read a couple things.
I mean, we never had. That's not. It's not the environment to have that kind of talk. Like that sounds like a talk where you haven't had any sort of conflict for like weeks and weeks and weeks, where you've thought about everything you can think about, and then you say, hey, Tanji, religion, what's up?"
Yeah, fair point.
Tanji talked to me about his relationship with his god a little bit. I'm sure wherever Tanji is, his god's with them. And who knows? Maybe Radiant and Luminous are around somewhere. I'm sure they feel the loss as heavy as we do.
All right, well, we'll go off that information then.
Right.
I'm Don't we have to head back there anyway on the way there? So we'll get there and see.
All right. You guys want to do anything in Glim Hill before you make your depart?
No, we're broke.
Okay. You guys exit the city, excuse me. After several hours of travel, you make it back to the gates. It is still shut, and the last time you hear there were guards on both sides of the door, but now there doesn't seem to be any guards on the inside of the door.
I don't
Interesting.
know if this is good or bad.
I want everyone to make perception checks at this point.
I'm guessing it's bad. They're probably gone because they're fighting something. I rolled a 5.
Okay? You hear nothing.
Natural 20.
Okay, I'll get.
22.
You aren't too sure, Tim. Like your ears, for some reason, they're clogged, and you're too busy cleaning your ears. For Dalvin and Lavina, you do hear very muffled commotion going on the other side of the gates. Like there's a lot of loud noises coming from the other side of the gate, like yelling and screaming and all this other stuff, and cleaning up stuff,
Thing is ever.
like clashing metal and stuff.
Dalvin heads out with his little pickaxe to help a bunch of giants.
All right. As you grab your pickaxe to get closer to the door, you hear a bit more clear. There's a combat going on the other side of the door, and there doesn't
I'll
seem to
try
be
and bust through the door. Is there a way to like run and charge through it?
make
I
a
mean,
mm, make an intellect check. Roll with advantage because this involves your background.
have you considered that maybe they're fighting to keep something from entering the door, and opening the door might be counterproductive to that?
16.
16. As a mason, you know that these types of doors usually have a mechanism that'll be able to open it if, like, this is a push door that is on a giant scale, so clearly only giants are able to push and reopen the door. However, you know that a dwarf, especially a dwarf of your craft, would come up with some sort of fail-safe in case the door doesn't work, doesn't budge, or if a dwarf just wants to make an entrance and exit. You do know there's always something going on with this door. Now I need you to make a perception check.
Perception. Ooh, 18.
18. You do see within the outer grooves of the wall that there's some chains that seem to work as like push weight, like as if like you could pull on it in order to raise some heavy stones, and you follow that like kind of chain to the ground where there's extremely large counterweights that is all the way down. So you get the feeling that if you are somehow able to pull the chains up on one of the side of the doors, the door could start opening.
That's what I'll do. I'll start yanking these chains
All right.
with all my power.
All right. Go ahead and make a power check. It's going to be a high DC.
With advantage?
Uh,
Let's kick ass.
you know what? I'll allow it, but it's still going to be a high DC though.
I don't get it. That's a 17.
17. It's not good enough. You pull with all your might, and even as strong as you are, you're able to pull some of the chain, and the door begins to slightly open. However, the chains are just way too hard to pull down, and you lose your grip, and the door that was slightly open is now reshut.
Okay. Ow. 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 Whew. Whew. Okay, Lavina. I'll do it one more time, and then you try to slide on through. Okay? I'll hold it long enough, I promise. Ow. Ow. Oh. And he's like shaking his hands and his forearms because they're probably hurting.
Okay, I trust you. And Lavina's gonna go walk up to the gate. She's gonna have her quarterstaff in her hand, and she's gonna keep her eyes low to the ground so whenever it opens up, so she can see and gap and teleport through.
Okay. Go ahead and make another power check. The DC is slightly lower since you are trying to hold on to it, but it's still relatively high DC.
Our friendship compels me. 30, 20.
Dirty 20. Yep, you beat the DC. You pull on the chains, and you feel like your muscles are about to give, but you are able to hold the chains enough that you, Lavina, could teleport through. And you do so. The moment you do so, Dalvin, like your muscles just give, and you have to let go of the chains, and your arms are extremely swole and sore from you pulling on the giant size chains.
That just kind of collapses and just starts huffing and puffing.
As you do that, Lavina, when you teleport to the other side of the wall, the first thing that hits you, damn, like this brightness coming from it, I haven't seen it in like almost a week, and damn, you begin to no longer be blinded. You do see like what chaos is going on. The dwarves and the giants are fighting a large band of orcs. These orcs, you recognize them as being those cannibalistic orcs, and they are having a fight.
Oh boy.
What do you do?
This is
They don't seem to notice you.
Um.
It's
Okay.
a 50-50 fight. It could go either way.
Okay. Does it look like there's like? Is there the gate? Like we usually see guards on the outside. Can I like look up, can I see like where the guards on the inside would typically be? Like, can I?
You know that there are guards on the other side of the wall where you were at that would kind of act as like, a failsafe or what have you, or an exit point. But you see that there are 4 giants, and the rest of the dwarven guard, which is about 6 of them, are fighting off a large band of orcs.
No, like what I mean is like they obviously have to be able to tell the other giants to open up the gate. So like, can I see where like the other? You know what I mean? Like, can I? Does that make sense?
You get the feeling that all parties that would be involved at both sides are on this side of the gate, trying to hold off the orcs.
No. Hold on. Let me. What I'm trying to ask you is like, can I see where where the guard would usually be posted? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to find if I can
Oh,
get to like a
gotcha.
mechanism so I can trip the
I
gate.
getcha.
Sorry.
Getcha.
Let me clarify
It's
what
all
I'm
good.
wanting to do.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh, 10.
10. You do see some sort of gap above the gates that you get that there is some door above there, but that's all you see as some of the battle and the chaos go a little bit towards you, and you have to pay attention to that. But at this point, I need you to make an agility check to see if you wish to remain stealthy, of course.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be seen here.
Okay.
God damn it. 8.
8. Oof. That's rough. As one of the orcs shove the dwarves onto the ground, the orc spots you and he says, "Elf woman, there's an elf here."
God damn it.
What do you do?
Um, how is the. Oh, okay.
You have been spotted.
Lavina, how. How tall is the. Nah, you know what? I'm just gonna figure it out. Um. Shit.
What are you doing?
I, I, he's too tall. I can't teleport up there.
What
I
do you,
can't.
what are you thinking about doing?
Uh, I just want to get the fuck out of this man's way. Uh, he, there's so much commotion going on. Fuck.
At this
I don't
point, the
like
other
that.
says, "Elf lady, get her ears." And then
Oh,
one of them is
hell
slowly beginning to charge you. You got like this one instance that you're able to do something before I'm gonna tell you to roll initiative.
no. Okay. Yep. Yeah. I'm just gonna. Just because they are all running after me. I'm just gonna.
What are
I'm
you
just gonna
doing?
try and leave. I don't know. I'm gonna start running.
All right. Where
I'm
are
just
you
gonna start
running? Where
fucking
are you
booking
running
it.
to?
Yeah, Lavina's just gonna run to the gate and just start. She's run at the gate and start like frantically just yelling like, "Dublin, open the gate! Open the gate, please!" Like she's just gonna start screaming.
Alright.
She can't teleport. The gate's too high. There's nowhere to hide. It's a fucking mountain.
Dalvin, make a perception check.
This is peak. This is peak.
I'm panicking.
Holy Toledo. That's a 14.
14. You are able to hear, as you are getting out recovering, you hear Lavina saying, "Open the gates, open the gates." But muffled sounding. What do you do? And it seems like she sounds like she's in a panic.
Okay. Tim, can you find another way to open this gate?
I'll see what I can do.
What are you two doing?
I'm gonna give Tim about 3 seconds to start running, and then I'm gonna start yanking open the chains one more time. I don't think I'll be able to succeed with how sore my muscles are, but hopefully in that time he'll be able to find a secondary mechanism to open this gate.
Okay, so how are you two going about this exactly?
So I'm
Dalvin's
looking
immediately
for
starting to open the gate.
yeah. So he's yanking on the chains to open the gate, and then I'm looking for like the guardsman's lever or something like that. There's probably a way to open it from the outside. It's probably hidden because this is a guard post.
Okay.
So I'm looking around and trying to use my knowledge of gears and stuff to figure out where this is.
Okay. So Dalvin, go ahead and make a power check. Tim, go ahead and make a perception check.
I do want to say I'm using more of my back this time. Like
Sure.
it's kind of trying to be parallel to the ground
Sure.
instead of my arms.
Sure.
Good
So if I
form.
get
Good.
advantage for that,
More of a lateral row if you're.
yeah, a lot of a roll.
All right.
Exactly. That's a 21.
21. Nice. And then what's your perception check?
I rolled an 8, and if that fails, I want to fate die it.
Okay. What do you want to fate? Okay, so that does fail. So do you wish to fate die it?
I do.
All right. If you fail, I'm going to give you false information.
It's a 10.
At 10, that's just barely enough, bro. So,
Ugh.
so Dalvin, you are, with your back strength, you are able to pry open the gate. Lavina, you see the gate slightly opening, and you hear the orc says, "They're going to open the gates! Rush through the gate!" And do you wish to teleport at this point in time?
Yeah, I'm getting the hell out of here.
All right. Poof, poof. You teleport away into the
Drop
gate.
it! Drop it! Drop the gate! Let go! Fuck!
As this brief moments of this gates is opening, and now that Dalvin's letting go of it, Tim, you see that there is some secret upper floor above the gate with some of the glare from the sunlight beaming up, and you see that there is some sort of room up there before it just shuts. As far as placement into the room, you aren't too sure, but you do know there's like some secret area above the gate.
Okay, kind of like a guard's tower or something.
Yes, and the gate shuts. Delvin, just go ahead and make a fortitude check. You know, you've pulled some heavy chains 3 times. I want to see how sore you get.
I think I'm coughing up blood. All right, whatever. I'll look for my phone. God, that's a natural 1.
Oh! Okay. You take 3 points of damage as you are coughing up some blood, and you have the exhaustion condition until you are healed for a certain amount of hit points.
Fair enough.
T. I'm gonna, for the very first time, use my fancy new quarterstaff, and I wanna. It says, as an action for X amount of rounds, you create an aura that's 5 space circled centered on you. You, along with any allies in your circle, are unaffected by poison and remove all conditions except for downed, grappled, prone, restrained, and hidden. So, like, Lavina's, like, laying there, also out of breath from running, and she's just gonna grip her staff and just do that, because she knows if she's fucking tired, Dalvin's fucking tired.
As you grip your staff, you have the feeling like, dang, you know, like, I could really use something to take the edge off. As you do, your magic flows through the staff. This green glow that used to be this cyclic color is now this natural, vibrant, tealish green type of color as the rune is active, and it creates this whole aura all around you. Dalvin, you were once sore and exhausted, but in a matter of a few seconds, it feels like you're fully recovered.
Oof. Worth it. You okay?
Shit's fucked. There are
What's
orcs.
happening?
They want my ear. The orcs and the dwarves and the giants, they're all fighting. They want my ears. If we go out there, it's a fucking bloodbath.
Cool. Well, we gotta go kill some orcs then. Somebody open this gate. Tim!
All right, now I gotta get up to that room somehow. I guess it's a wall climb.
Get the feeling that it is a wall climb.
Let's climb that wall. Is that agility or power?
How would you like to climb the wall? And I'll let you know which one to use.
Powerfully.
All right, then go ahead and make a power check to see if you're able to carefully climb this wall.
9.
It's not good enough, fortunately. You get about up 10 feet, but then a rock slips from your grip and you fall 10 feet down. You take 4 points of fall damage.
That's okay. We can deal with that. Can I try again, or is that my turn? Okay, I'll try again.
All right, make another power check.
16.
16? Yeah. This time, you know from your mistakes. You're able to climb towards the top of the gate. The room itself, as you get to the top of the gate, is not like... There's not like a door that leads to it. You see that there's like some sort of like... two-way mirror type of situation where the outside looks like it's rock. But as you like feeling all around it, you see that, oh, this is just glass that is decorated as rock. As some sort of weird camouflage.
All right. Well, so first I'm gonna check and see if it's like a sliding window situation. But if it's not, I'm gonna smash it. I just want to make it clear. I would like to avoid intentional damage if possible.
As you feel around the mirror, as you feel around the window, you see that it is a mirror that opens like two ways outward, kind of like your normal traditional window.
Okay. All right. Let's slide it open and climb in.
Go ahead and just make an agility check because you're trying to slide it open while trying to maintain grip.
That's fair. 19. There we go.
Yeah, you're able to carefully save your fingers through, and there's no locks on it because it's too high up. So you're managed to open the window, and there's some bright light that's going into the area a bit.
All right, I'm looking for a lever or a button.
Yep,
something
you go
like
inside the room, and on the other side, you do see the chaos that Lavina is talking about. It's a 50-50 battle between the dwarves and giants versus the orcs. I'm going to roll 2d20s to see how each side is right now. It's a little bit in favor of the guards, but it's still kind of a close fight.
All right, so I was told to open the gate. I'm going to try to open the gate from what I can see.
As you go inside the room, you see that, this is kind of like your break room for the dwarves, for lack of a better term.
Gotcha.
There's some cots, there's a box, there is like a cooking area with, a fireplace stove. And you do also see in the center of the room that seems like to be 2 levers. One that goes left, one that goes right. The only issue is that both of the wordings on there are in Dwarvish, and they are similar in wording.
Well, this would be real fucking easy if I had my Dwarvish to Orcish dictionary. No, you know where that is? It's in a fucking river somewhere.
You don't know which way is what. You don't know what these switches do, essentially. But, one could only guess what each one would do.
Which one has more wear on it?
They both have equal amount of wear on it.
All right, well, right is wrong, so I'm going to pull the left lever.
As you casually try to pull the left lever, you see that it is kind of a hard pull, and you kind of actually have to use some strength involved. So go ahead and just make a power check.
All right, so that probably means... Okay, 21 off of 19.
Pull it. The DC was 10.
I yeet the shit out of this lever.
You pull it back, and as it does, on the other side, Dalvin, you hear the chains are rising up, and one of the doors begins to open towards you, and the light blinds you for the second. You see that the dwarves and the orcs realize that half the door is open. What do you guys do?
Delvin grabs his pickaxe, rushes through the door, starts trying to swing at some orcs.
All right. Lavina, what are you doing?
Lavina's sure as shit not letting him go by himself, so he's gonna follow.
All right. As you two exit out the door, I want everyone to roll initiative.
All right. And that's a flat 20, right?
Yep.
14.
14!
Twinsies!
Oh my god.
Come on, Dalvin.
We should totally kill some orcs after this.
Oh my god, we
Not
should...
a natural one.
come out here, loser. We're gonna kill some orcs now.
so, so the orcs rolled slightly higher because I already rolled these in advance. Um, so the orcs are gonna try to attack the dwarves and the giants because they're too occupied with that right now. So I'm just gonna make an attack roll for all of them. They crit, so they deal significant damage to the dwarves and the giants. And you guys get the feeling that this is significant in the fight. This could go either way now. But it is now your guys' go. So
So
How far away
I'm
from
gonna
the
shut
orc?
the gate.
you're gonna close the door.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stay in this guard tower the whole time. I have a wand. I can use ranged attacks, and I think having someone who can open and close the gate at will, like, if you need to duck back and hide for 3 turns, you can do that, and I'll make sure the gate's closed.
All right. If you wish to close the gate, it will take your action for the turn.
Whole action.
Yeah.
I think that's
Do it.
probably worth it.
All right. Go ahead and make a power check.
All right. Well, I may not be powerful, but I am somewhat hourful. That's a 7.
Oof. You tried to pull the lever back, but it seems to stuck. You don't know why.
I'm like, see, Dalvin was telling me not to skip shoulders.
All right. Look, Dalvin, Lavina, which one of you two would like to go next?
How far are the orcs from the gate?
You can get to one of them. They are about
Oh,
30 feet outward, so you think that one big movement action could allow them to enter the gate.
all right. I will run up to the nearest one and then swing my pickaxe
Make your attack roll.
twice.
Do it.
18. First
18,
attack.
18 hits.
All right. You can roll the damage on that one. D10. Yes, it is. 10 points of damage.
Cool. They take a brunt of the damage.
Second attack. Ooh, natural 18, so 18 plus 6, 24 to hit.
That hits.
For 9 plus 6, 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. All right, you deal significant damage to this orc. Ugh! Takes the hit.
That is my turn.
All right, Lavina, you're the last to go. I'm gonna send you a playlist for the combat music. Go ahead.
Does it look? Is there like a small bunch of them like grouped up?
There is. There's like 3v3 for. There's 3 of them trying to gang up on a giant.
Dalvin can handle himself for right now. Lavina's gonna kind of like counter them and cast Acid Splash on that group of orcs.
Okay, and I believe it's an attack roll. Yes.
Yes.
All right, make an attack roll.
It's just a flat D20. I'm pretty sure. Wait, because it's a spell. It's been a while. Plus.
It's a D20
3.
plus your int mod.
So it would be plus 3. 19.
19 does hit. So go ahead and roll your damage, and I believe the rest have to make a save, right?
On a hit, creature takes 1d6 acid damage, and any creature near the affected creature takes 1d4.
Oh, so it's just automatic damage. So go ahead and roll that damage.
D6. 2 for the D6 and 2 for the D4.
Hey, 2 all around.
Yep.
Acid splash. The orcs begin to eke out in pain over the burn of the acid. It's a good turn. All right. Would you like to move anywhere? Or...
I'm gonna keep to like the back lines. Like I'm gonna stay behind Dalvin.
Fair enough.
Best I can.
The dwarves and the giants shall try to take advantage of you guys aiding in this situation. They are successful, knocking down the orcs a couple pegs. And the dwarf yells at you, Tim, "Close the damn gate! You don't want one orc in there. That will ruin the whole safety of all the giants in the mountains. If one orc knows about this, this could be detriment. Close the gates!" As they
I'm gonna
go
yell.
to attack.
I'm gonna yell back at him while he's attacking. I mean, I think the bigger concern is that they're cannibals, not really exactly what race they are. But yeah, I'm trying to close the gate.
All the more reason to close the damn gates. Right, now the orcs get to go. Roll a d20. So I'll deal with you, Dalvin, first. He'll make 2 attacks. The first one will miss. Second one is a 16 to hit.
Does a 16 hit? Yes, it does.
All right, he hits you
Yes.
with 2 hand axes. So you will take 10 points of damage as he slices you up with 2 hand axes.
Okay.
Next, for you, Ness, orc is gonna run. Is gonna make.
Can I use my reaction for an attack?
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You hit. Roll damage.
12 points.
12 points. You knock this orc down a peg. He's not looking too hot. And then, he then says, "Get the elf lady. Get her ears." And you see an orc a bit further away. Has Lavina ever encountered orcs before this apocalypse?
Probably not.
You see how crazy these orcs are. The orc nearby you will take the dash action to double his movement to get up to you. And because he's an orc, since he's spending his action to dash at you, he gets to make 1 attack against you because he is an orc. As he goes and lunges at you with his great axe. Does a 9 hit you? I'm assuming it does not.
No, it does not.
He trips in front of you and then gets up. Comedically. As far as the battle between the dwarves and the giants, see how that goes. The orcs are slowly getting back, even taking down one of the 4 giants. So the reins are now turned towards you. What do you guys do?
I want to try to finish off this one orc in front of me.
Okay, make an attack.
What's that? Dirty 20. Nice.
Dirty 20, that hits. Roll damage.
Nine.
How much?
9.
9? That's just enough. You take your pickaxe and you jam it right into this orc's face. As you kind of have to pull him off. You still have 1 attack left.
So I would like to attack the orc attacking Lumina.
Make your attack. You run up and make your attack.
12 plus 18.
18 total? You said you rolled an 18?
Yeah, I said I rolled 18.
Alright, that hits. Roll your damage.
8. Jeez, 7. 7 plus 6, 13.
Right. You pierce his abdominal area and begins to leave a mark. He goes, "Ugh! Damn dwarves and their pickaxes." Alright.
Yeah, you and your cannibalism.
I do not much like eating dwarf, but I'm gonna enjoy eating you. Lavina, Tim, you two have yet to act.
The second Dalvin, Lavina's she sidesteps this orc, and as she sidesteps and spins, she sees Dalvin taking the brunt of these hits and watches him knock this orc down a peg in front of her, and she's gonna cast her 3rd level ability, Supernova,
Ooh.
to heal him and fuck this other orc up. He
Alright.
can't have her ears.
Alright, so what does that do?
So it's once per day for 1d4 plus 1 rounds. I create an aura that is a 3-space circle around me. All allies gain 10 hit points, while all enemies lose 10 hit points if they fail a DC fort check against my spell save DC,
Okay.
or take half success while in the circle.
So roll a d4.
Okay. Me. Plus 1. For 2 rounds. It's
Okay.
better than nothing.
Yep, that's why there's always a +1. So, regardless, as you do so, you, along with Dalvin, heal for 10 hit points and dealing 10 hit points to this orc for this round. which is pretty good. So, what does this aura look like?
With the new staff, what used to it probably originally would have looked like black ichor, but now it looks like a weird. It looks like a marriage between like life and death.
Okay.
It's like kind of like harmonious. Like it looks like she grabs the staff and like just like kind of like luminous, just a big like green and black aura just kind of explodes from her in a way. Like it doesn't hurt her, but
Nice.
she's very dramatic.
That's good. All right, you do so, and the orc begins to feel sick. It goes, ugh, ugh, and it makes sounds as if he was about to vomit.
As Dalvin radiates with this green aura, he wants to start saying the Green Lantern chant.
Copyright. No, I'm kidding. Tim, you have yet to act.
I'm trying to shut the gate.
All right, make a power check.
19. There we go.
You successfully close the gates. Would you like to move?
Oh, I'm good.
All right, cool. Now the dwarves, let's see how well they do. They are doing well, especially since they critted. They're battling back against the orcs. The orcs looks like they could be on the ropes. But now it's the orcs go. See how they do. They are punching back. It's still like it could be close. Both sides are hurting at this point in time. Let's start with you, Dalvin. The orc is going to take 2 attacks against you. Does an 18 hit?
Yes.
All right. He has a great axe, and he shall deal 10 points of slashing damage to you. He'll make a second attack. He will use his once per day reckless, which will allow him to reroll the attack. Same result, a 4+, which doesn't hit, I presume.
It does not.
All right. He tries to slash at you. He grazes you with his great axe, and he tries to swing at the second one. However, you're able to dodge out of the way, even though he was doing it recklessly. And the orcs are back and forth with the other dwarves. It is now your guys' go, and this is the last round. You deal 10 points of damage to this orc nearby you, and this orc is not looking too hot. Meanwhile, Dalvin, you heal for another 10. But what are you doing, Lavina, on your turn?
So is this just like because it's like a passive thing? Like if I like it's gonna end after this round, so I guess it doesn't matter for making.
Yeah, it's a passive thing. So after this round, it'll go away.
Heard. Well, now we know for the future.
Yep. It's all good.
Yeah. While this orc is kind of like down on the ground, she's gonna pull out her shadow dagger and she's gonna fucking try and kill his ass.
All right, make an attack roll.
It's just flat d20. I have no power. 8.
8. Oof, it's not good enough. You try to pull this shadow dagger. However, you don't know whether it's the weird magic within the dagger or your inability to use it. But for some reason, something's pulling on you back. You're not lunging at your full strength, and the orc sees this and dodges out of the way of your dagger attack.
It's okay. I'll get your fucking ears. Don't you worry.
he says, I like it when my food fights back.
Gag.
Oh, Dalvin takes 2 swings.
Vita throws up in her mouth a little bit.
Dalvin, go ahead.
I would like... I can't just reach and snap his neck, right? I gotta attack and do this whole thing.
You gotta basically try to grapple him.
No, I'll swing.
Alright.
That sounds just as difficult.
Make your swing.
Ooh, 17 plus 22.
That hits.
Hit. Ooh, max damage. 16.
Nice. You deal insane damage to this orc, cutting more deeper into this gash. He goes, ah! He's bleeding profusely. You think one more hit could down him.
9 plus 6 is 15.
It does not hit, unfortunately. He manages to dodge out of the way of your second attack, not worried that his life might actually be in danger.
That is my turn.
Cool. All right. Tim, you have yet to act.
All right, I'm gonna make 2 wand attacks. At weakest one.
All right. So the one that Dallin's been targeting, go ahead and make your attack.
Exactly. Yeah. 14.
14 does not hit.
And an 8 doesn't hit either. Then
It does not. You shoot your 2 shots. However, it's a little bit distance away, and you try to shoot your shots. However, the orc sees these balls of light try to go towards him, and he dodges out of the way, despite him bleeding profusely in front of you guys. Would you like to move, Tim?
No, I think I'm doing great up here.
Alrighty. The dwarves. Let's see if they can try to finish off the orcs. They do. They clean up most of the orcs, with the exception of the one in front of you. The orc will try to run away and try to save his skin. But what do you 3 do?
I call him a coward. He should face his death like a man. This is not what your mother taught you.
I would like to take out P5's crossbow and shoot.
Didn't you bury Fifai's crossbow as a headstone?
Oh yeah, it does. I keep forgetting. Dang it, I missed that weapon. I'm gonna chase him, trying to hit.
Yeah, you could get up to him and you could try to hit him.
12 plus 6, 18 to hit.
That does hit. Roll your damage.
2 plus 6, 8 points.
All right. He tries to run, and as he tries to run, he turns to see you going after him. How do you want to do this?
While I'm running and while he's running, I just kind of, you know how they do axe throws? They overhand that axe throw onto
Yes.
Bullseye's. I want to do that with my pickaxe, just right into his back, right into his spine, or somewhere nice to kill him.
Yeah. You toss it, and as you do, it goes through his back and goes through the wound that you've been attacking this whole time. Perfect shot as this orc collapses, dead. Thus ends combat.
Alright. Gonna go get my pick.
There are less orcs than I thought there were. Fuck these guys.
All right.
Well, I suppose I can open the gate back up.
Yep. Would you like to?
Yes, I will.
You open the gates, and he says, "It's fine, it's fine. There's a ladder nearby the side of the gate."
Damn it.
This
Of course it
guy.
was the ladder.
Yeah, you see the ladder that he talks about, and it's kind of like the same color as the stone, which you're like, oh, that makes sense. You know, try to keep it camouflage. But you climb down the ladder,
I'll shut the gate.
and you do so. All right, and the dwarves and the 3 giants are catching their breath. Here's the playlist for you guys. They slowly catch right. He says, "Thank goodness you arrived when you did. I'm just surprised you guys were able to open it from the other side. But then again, you did have a dwarf with you. You were sure to find it eventually. It's good that you did."
Yeah, we're just glad to help.
Happy to help.
Of course. Now, I wish we had some gold to carry, but gold doesn't come around that often nowadays.
Food would be great.
Food, we are able to give you. How about a good, nice, hot dwarven meal?
Is there any better kind?
He says, sorry, say again? You were cutting in and out on my end.
Is there any better kind than a hot dwarven meal? Better than a cold dwarven meal? Better than a hot giant meal? You know what I mean?
You are going to love this meal. It's a very great stew, because we recently killed a bear, and now we're going to make some bear stew.
I love bear stew.
All right. You guys begin to take some time, take a breather. You guys eat the meal. With you, Tim, you're still kind of in your giant disguise, so you're able to manage to hide away your orc tusks and what have you.
Nice.
But after after you finish your meal, the guard thanks you once more, and he says, "Now, where are you guys heading to exactly?"
South.
South. Are you trying to cross the Gulf, or are you just trying to go around it?
We're gonna be crossing the Gulf.
Well, if you're looking for boats, I hear that there's a small orc village towards the east that still has some boats functioning. But I also hear that there might be some remnants of boats at the edge of the forest within the Halfling country. Depends how you exactly are trying to get across.
Boat sounds good.
Fair enough. Well, we do wish you safer travels, friends. And thanks again for aiding us in dealing with those orcs.
Hopefully we don't have to do it again.
Alright. As you guys begin to travel more southward, at this point, Tim removes part of the attire to remove his giant disguise. Which direction are you going? Are you going straight down south? Are you going southwest?
I think it's Lavina's choice since it's her hometown.
I guess it depends on which lead we want to follow. We could go east to the orc place, maybe see Tim's family. Or we could just
We
go.
do gotta go see Tim's family. Let's go do that first.
And if that fails, then we'll circle back to maybe Tangi's mom, and hopefully they're still there.
Let's go find Tim's family.
Alright. You guys begin to go eastward. You left around midday, bellies full from bear stew, and you guys are traveling eastward. As you do, you guys have some time to speak amongst yourselves as you guys begin to travel eastward.
Oh, what do you think waits for us when we get to your hometown, Lavinia?
My hometown. We're going to your hometown, buddy.
Oh shit.
Your hometown might have
Yeah.
boats.
Yeah, plus, it feels like we're taking a staff to Lavina's hometown. I mean, I feel like something big's there. We may not get a chance to go see your hometown again.
You're right. I guess I should stop trying to distract myself from it. I guess as much as I've wanted this, I'm also a little afraid of what I might find, you know.
Like the undead? Yeah.
Like a specific undead.
Let's not do that. No.
Alright.
I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah, Lavinia, what's in your hometown?
Who knows? It's on the water. If there are if there are hardly any boats, I can only imagine they must be all the elves must have brought them back to the islands to shore up their lands.
Yeah, I mean, you guys sound pretty like isolationist as it is, so there's a chance that this curse never even got to you guys.
One could hope. I've been gone for quite a long time, even before this apocalypse. So. But
Well,
hopefully,
if we encounter elven zombies, we know that they won't be stronger than the giant ones, so we'll be alright.
That's true. If we could get around those.
Can elven zombies do magic?
No, I don't think so. At least I would hope not. There's a lot of
Yeah, let's
intention
hope
with
not.
magic.
You're right, and if you're mindless, you can't really intend much.
As you guys begin to travel eastward, there is a valley that you must cross. You go through the valley, the cliffs overlook on both sides, left and right. Enough for you guys to pass it, so there's no tight squeezes or anything else like that. But it's weird as night begins to fall. You don't know why, but you get the feeling that, based on this predicament, you guys are more cautious than usual. For now, whatever comes from above is not easily able to see. Go ahead and make perception checks for me, please.
So many rolls tonight, making up for the lack of session.
Exactly.
5.
5.
Nat
And
1, make it a 4.
Nah, it's a nat 1. Tim?
10.
10. You guys look up, trying to be more cautious. However, you are unable to see anything above you as night begins to fall. You guys, lit up your torches now that Tangi's gone. Now you have to depend on whatever torches you now carry. Unless you do have light. And I guess
Cast create light.
all right, you create light. So now you have Eurolights, which is like this bright green color. And you guys begin to set up camp within the valley. As you do, I need everyone to roll a perception check for me, please.
Ooh, 30-20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
11.
7. Both of you, Lavina, you're too busy setting up camp, trying to find Tinderwood, all this other stuff, to pay attention to everything else. For you, Dalvin, and for you, Tim, you're trying to be cautious, and you look around while trying to gather your supplies. You get the feeling that something's off within the area. You can't quite put your finger on it, but something definitely feels off. And as you guys look on the hillside, you hear some movement above you. And as you look up, you don't see anything but some dirt particles falling down onto you guys, as if someone made a dash movement from above.
I'd look up.
You look up, you don't see anything.
Classic dirt monsters. Always dropping dirt on your head.
Should we be worried?
Honestly, I don't know what that was. It could be someone, but I mean, if they're... I don't really understand what they're walking on if they're dropping dirt on us.
Dalvin readies his pickaxe just in case.
Alright, you do so. You guys try to stay vigilant throughout the night, but nothing else happens. I want everyone to roll a d20 to see if a random encounter could possibly occur.
D20?
Yeah.
18.
18.
7.
18 and 7. You guys are being extremely cautious. And as your, how we say, paranoia kicks in, you guys stay vigilant throughout your watches. And the night comes to a close as you guys finish your rest. Do you guys have any rations? Oh, wait, you guys ate. Never mind. Yeah, but everyone can roll hit die if they lose any hit points, and roll a spell die if you used any spell points. But we're just going to continue on at this point. As you guys begin to pack up and leave and continue down this valley, the smell of death is in the air. And as you get closer and closer, the smell becomes more and more pungent.
I mean,
Oof.
we're gone.
No.
We've already already decided.
No. This, oof. Dude, what is this? Tim, is this how your place smells all the is this how your homeland whoa.
No, this is a bad sign.
Do you want to continue going? Because I know we are starting to make a lot of bail sort of scenarios because there's 3 of us now. Is this one of them?
I mean, I gotta go. I can't back away from this. I mean, I'm not asking you to come with me, but I gotta go.
No, we're going. Just I need something to pinch my nose. Oh boy.
Yeah, tie a bit of your shirt around your face or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll find some flowers if we're lucky.
Yep. By the way, I forgot to mention this. Blue is with you guys, so do remember that. You still have your oxen.
Well, I'd rather smell ox than death. So
you guys begin to travel, and you see that there is a fork in the road. There is the smell of death is still very pungent in the air, regardless of which path you smell it from. But you see that on the upper left, as far as signage goes, referring to my notes here. One moment, please. It says Orgum. And then it says, 20 on it. But then it says Rudrum. That points rightward. 5. You know, Tim, that Rudrum is a orc village that has that has access to some water through a small water basin. And you know that town specifically, depends on ranching and, shepherding in that type of town. You remember it as a very friendly town, open to locals, and knows where it usually has like good products based on the animals and stuff that they have over there. But the smell of death is coming from both ways.
Okay. Well, so Rudrum is, as you can see, a slight 5-mile detour from where we're going, but it's definitely going to have water and it's definitely going to have food for Blue. So it's 20 miles to my town, which is going to take us pretty much a day, and it's God knows what time right now. So maybe we take a pit stop in Rudrum for a bit, and then we'll spend a day getting over to Orgum in the morning.
Sure, but Tim, I know when we visited the Giants, they were kind of discriminatory against your kind. But we face similar things here.
I mean, so the cannibals on the border are pretty much where the Giants get their opinions from. The towns aren't like that. You can't be a cannibal in like a town where kids go to school and grandmas live.
I'm saying, are they gonna look down on me or Lavina here?
It's not gonna be like you're lesser kind of thing, but I don't be surprised if they don't know much about your kind. Like, not a lot of orcs are well traveled,
Okay, I can do with that.
It's a village life, so there might be some uneducated folk, but I don't think they're gonna be outright hateful.
Well, hopefully it's not a worse smell.
I mean, yeah, based on what we're smelling now, there might not be anything but zombies there, so who knows?
I hope not.
All right. So you guys are going to Rudrum?
Yep.
As you guys make your way down towards Rudrum, it'll only take you like a few hours to get there. Go ahead and everyone just make perception checks for me, please.
guys ever eat beef chips where you're from? Rudrum's got good beef chips.
What are beef chips? I got 17.
Okay.
11.
11.
Uh, well, you know, like, have you had pork rinds? Beef chips are like pork rinds. It's like you take the skin of it and you like deep fry it. It's real good.
Livina, what's your check?
Not one.
Oof. Okay, so Dalvin's the only one that sees this. As you continue the path, something feels off. And as you kind of look around, you do see that in front, like it's a dirt path, obviously, but you see that there seems to be a little bit more dirt in front of you guys within a couple feet. Dalvin, you suspect that there could be something else going on there. That the ground over there seems off.
Is it a
Like a
grave?
trap off?
You aren't too sure.
Dalvin wants to kind of trail off from the group and investigate.
Okay.
If
Go ahead.
something goes bad, he wants to be by himself and do it.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage.
14.
14. You're able to see that, yes, this is indeed a trap. However, as far as how the trap works or what it is, you aren't too sure. But you do know the path ahead of you is trapped.
Ahead of us? Okay.
Like where you last saw it, you looked at it, you're like, okay, this is definitely a trap, but what kind of trap is it? You aren't too sure.
Hey, be careful. There are traps.
Did your families have any sayings about strange piles of dirt in the woods?
No.
Yeah, don't trust him.
That's funny. My mom always said there's probably grubs in there. Grubs is good. But I think you're right. I think I can go without grubs this one time.
Alright, so what do you guys do?
I think off-roading is the move. I think that we'll hop off the trail until we pass this suspicious dirt mound. And then if it looks clear, we'll hop back on the trail.
Alright. You hop off the trail for a moment, and you're able to step aside from the road. And once you pass that area, you go and continue path onto the road. As you do, the smell of death gets more foul and foul. And as you guys approach, like what you could see the town, it is a grim sight. There is a lot of death here, and we're not talking about the zombie kind. We're talking about skeletons everywhere. But the sick part is that whatever overarch that the town entrance had is now just flooded with bones, purposely decorated and adorned.
It didn't look like this before.
You know damn well it didn't look like this before. And usually you know you would see someone right now.
Fuck. I mean, there's probably still a well in town, but I don't know if there's bones in it, you know? Like, is this, is this a let's bail moment, you guys? Or do you want to look in?
Everyone make perception checks for me, please.
6.
Oof.
12.
Oof.
6.
Oof. That's rough. You guys are looking at the bones around this arch, and you are just kind of have this shock surprise on you. And then you just hear above you, and as you turn, whatever there is now gone. You guys get the feeling that you're being watched.
Okay, well, if we're being watched, I think the move is don't be suspicious. I feel like the bones is like a distraction. There's probably still good, well-meaning people inside there. Or maybe it's bones because there's something that eats people in there.
It's your tough
But
man. You let us know.
I think we should do it. I think we're tough enough. You know, if there is something in there, we can deal with it. I mean, you don't make this many bones overnight, you know. That's not like a giant or a one cannibal. You know, this is one cannibal's work over months and months and months. Or this is like a dozen plague victims and there's a bunch of well meaning people in there. I think we should go in.
Okay. Whatever you do, bro. We got you.
I got your back, Tim. No matter what.
All right.
Sometimes I think I overthink things, but then I think I'm not overthinking things.
As you guys begin to go towards the small town of Rudrum, you see that as you get to the town area, that's the sight is more disturbing and more thought-provoking and more terrifying than what you expected. You see little to no buildings but one. Many of the buildings here were destroyed. However, that's not the thing that you see. You see at the distance a couple of walking death, more of those stone like zombies that you guys have encountered thus far. However, even the undeath is not the disturbing parts. There are large scatters of bones that are scattered throughout, separated meticulously by size, bone type, and whatnot. But the terrifying part is that there's also a big tree that is towards the center of the town. There are no leaves on this tree that you anymore. What you recalled, Tim, is that this town was full of life. You know, there was a water basin that would give natural plant growth. Most of the plants are dead. The most disturbing thing is this tree has hanging corpses on it. Seems to be recent ones on top of that. However, and this will get graphic, so I apologize in advance. The worst part is that these corpses, there's flies all over them. You can't even identify the bodies because they have no skin on them whatsoever.
This is a demon's lair. I don't know what this is, but something evil lives here. There's one building that what appears to be some sort of grotesque hanging rack. I don't think anything friendly lives here anymore.
Sorry, Tim. You want to go killing something? I'll do it with you.
I think I best save my rage for when I get to my hometown because I'm not feeling hopeful at this point. So I think we should just get out of here, honestly. Get while the getting's good.
Lavina, how do you react to all this?
Lavina's just at this point from the loss of her friends and seeing multiple loved ones just literally drop dead in front of her from like balcony tops and being ripped away. She's just kind of staring in like dead-eyed like horror, if that makes sense. Like she's not emoting, but you can tell that she's just like kind of disgusted by it. She's like, "I'm sorry, Tim, but you're right. We should go ahead and get while the getting's good. Whatever's here doesn't want us here, and I'm not sticking around long enough to find out."
I agree.
As you begin to finish up your conversation, is anyone writing blue at this point?
Yes.
All of you? Some of you?
No, I'm not.
I am.
Lavina?
I think I think Lavina would be walking. I feel like it would make sense that we would take turns riding Blue as to not exhaust him too much.
Gotcha. Go ahead and make an agility check for me, Tim.
15.
15. All right. Ooh. All right. As you begin to finish off this conversation, you just hear behind you, Tim, and then and you hear Blue screech out loud in pain as it begins to instinctively kick and almost knocks you off. However, you are able to get back on your feet. As you do, Dalvin and Lavina, as you turn around, you see that there is a gargantuan-sized crossbow bolt through the back of Blue, and at what's coming from this line from this crossbow is at the distance a horrific sight. Something large, something terrifying, disturbing, menacing, and worst of all, you think it's the thing that's now occupies whatever remains of Rudrome, as you see a large ogre-sized individual clothed in nothing but skin with a bunch of sick and twisted tools wrapped around and weaponry all wrapped around it. And we're going to end the session here.
Damn.
So we
You had to shoot the ox.
I had to. I'm sorry. This is what the monster would do. As you guys will now encounter the rumored man Skinner I teased many episodes back. So we shall see what this thing can do. And we'll see you guys next time for a different type of combat. But if you succeed, you'll level up. So I'll say that. But we'll see what happens. So till then, next time, we shall see you later.
Good night.